This channel is all about religions and theology. In just a few minutes, you will learn something new and feel at ease. Subscribe to stay tuned. Hávamál, which is the sayings of Har, is an ancient Norse poem, part of the Poetic Edda, one of the main sources of Norse mythology and culture. Its title means the words of the High One, as the wisdom in the poem comes from Odin, the god of knowledge, war, and poetry. Through his journeys, battles, and keen observations, Odin shares lessons about life that feel as relevant today as they were centuries ago. This poem isn't just about gods and legends. It's full of practical advice for everyday life. It talks about how to be a good guest, a wise friend, and a thoughtful person. It offers insights on how to live with honor, show hospitality, and handle life's challenges. At the same time, it reflects on deeper themes like fate, wisdom, and even magic, weaving in a sense of mystery and wonder. What makes Hávamál special is how timeless its lessons are. It reminds us that being smart, kind, and cautious can carry us through life better than wealth or strength alone. The stories and sayings feel like a conversation with an old, wise friend who has seen it all and wants to share what really matters. This book isn't just for history buffs or mythology lovers. It is for anyone who enjoys stories that make you think about the choices you make, the people you trust, and the kind of life you want to lead. Whether you are here for Odin's wisdom or just curious about ancient Norse culture, Hávamál will inspire you to see the world and yourself a little differently. Continuation 1 to 44 in part 1 on the channel. 45. If you deal with another you do not trust but wish for his goodwill, be fair in speech but false in thought, and give him lie for lie. 46. Even with one you ill trust and doubt what he means to do, false words with fair smiles may get you the gift you desire. 47. Young and alone on a long road, once I lost my way. Rich I felt when I found another man. Man rejoices in man. 48. The generous and bold have the best lives, are seldom beset by cares, but the base man sees bogeys everywhere, and the miser pines for presents. 49. 2 wooden stakes stood on the plain. On them I hung my clothes. Draped in linen, they looked well born, but naked, I was a nobody. 50. The young fear that falls and rots, having neither needles nor bark. So is the fate of the friendless man. Why should he live long? 51. Hotter than fire among false hearts burns friendship for 5 days, but suddenly slackens when the 6th dawns. Feeble their friendship then. 52. A kind word need not cost much. The price of praise can be cheap. With half a loaf and an empty cup, I found myself a friend. 53. Little a sand grain, little a dewdrop, little the minds of men. All men are not equal in wisdom. The half-wise are everywhere. 54. It is best for man to be middle-wise, not over-cunning and clever. The learned man whose lore is deep is seldom happy at heart. 55. It is best for man to be middle-wise, not over-cunning and clever. The fairest life is led by those who are deft at all they do. 56. It is best for man to be middle-wise, not over-cunning and clever. No man is able to know his future, so let him sleep in peace. 57. Brand kindles till they brown out. Flame is quickened by flame. One man from another is known by his speech, the simpleton by his silence. 58. Early shall he rise who has designs on another's land or life. His prey escapes the prone wolf. The sleeper is seldom victorious. 59. Early shall he rise who rules few servants and set to work at once. Much is lost by the late sleeper. Wealth is won by the swift. 60. A man should know how many logs and strips of bark from the birch to stock in autumn, that he may have enough wood for his winter fires. 61. Washed and fed, one may fare to the thing. Though one's clothes be the worse for wear, none need be ashamed of his shoes or hose, nor of the horse he owns, although no thoroughbred. 62. As the eagle who comes to the ocean shore, sniffs and hangs her head, dumbfounded is he who finds at the thing no supporters to plead his case. 63. It is safe to tell a secret to one, risky to tell it to two. To tell it to three is thoughtless folly. Everyone else will know. 64. Moderate at counsel should a man be, not brutal and overbearing. Among the bold, the bully will find others as bold as he. 65. Often words uttered to another have reaped an ill harvest. 66 Too early to many homes I came, too late it seemed to some. The ale was finished or else unbrewed, the unpopular cannot please. 67 Some would invite me to visit their homes, but none thought I had eaten a whole joint, just before with a friend who had two. 68 These things are thought the best: fire, the sight of the sun, good health with the gift to keep it, and a life that avoids vice. 69 Not all sick men are utterly wretched. Some are blessed with sons, some with friends, some with riches, some with worthy works. 70 It is always better to be alive. The living can keep a cow. Fire I saw warming a wealthy man with a cold corpse at his door. 71 The halt can manage a horse, the handless a flock, the deaf be a doughty fighter. To be blind is better than to burn on a pyre. There is nothing the dead can do. 72 A son is a blessing, though born late, to a father no longer alive. Stones would seldom stand by the highway if sons did not set them there. 73 Two beat one, the tongue is head's bane, pockets of fur hide fists. 74 He welcomes the knight who has enough provisions. Short are the sails of a ship. Dangerous the dark in autumn, the wind may veer within 5 days and many times in a month. 75 The half-wit does not know that gold makes apes of many men. One is rich, one is poor. There is no blame in that. 76 Cattle die, kindred die, every man is mortal, but the good name never dies of one who has done well. 77 Cattle die, kindred die, every man is mortal, but I know one thing that never dies, the glory of the great dead. 78 Fields and flocks had Fichung's sons, who now carry begging bowls. Wealth may vanish in the wink of an eye, gold is the falsest of friends. 79 In the fool who acquires cattle and lands or wins a woman's love, his wisdom wanes with his waxing pride. He sinks from sense to conceit. 80 Now is answered what you ask of the runes, graven by the gods, made by the All-Father, sent by the powerful sage. Is best for man to remain silent. 81 For these things give thanks at nightfall, the day gone, a guttered torch, a sword tested, the troth of a maid, ice crossed, ale drunk. 82 Hew wood in wind time, in fine weather sail, tell in the nighttime tales to house girls, for too many eyes are open by day. From a ship expect speed, from a shield cover, keenness from a sword, but a kiss from a girl. 83 Drink ale by the hearth, over ice glide, buy a stained sword, buy a starving mare to fatten at home and fatten the watchdog. 84 No man should trust a maiden's words, nor what a woman speaks. Spun on a wheel were women's hearts, in their breasts was implanted caprice. 85 A snapping bow, a burning flame, a grinning wolf, a grunting boar, a raucous crow, a rootless tree, a breaking wave, a boiling kettle. 86 A flying arrow, an ebbing tide, a coiled adder, the ice of a night, a bride's bed talk, a broadsword, a bear's play, a prince's children. 87 A witch's welcome, the wit of a slave, a sick calf, a corpse still fresh. 88 A brother's killer encountered upon the highway, a house half burned, a racing stallion who has wrenched a leg, are never safe. Let no man trust them. 89 Trust not an acre early sown, nor praise a son too soon. Weather rules the acre with the sun. Both are exposed to peril. 90 To love a woman whose ways are false is like sledding over slippery ice with unshod horses out of control, badly trained 2-year-olds, or drifting rudderless on a rough sea, or catching a reindeer with a crippled hand on a thawing hillside. Think not to do it. 91 Naked I may speak now, for I know both. Men are treacherous too. Fairest we speak when falsest we think. Many a maid is deceived. 92 Gallantly shall he speak and gifts bring, who wishes for woman's love. Praise the features of the fair girl, who courts well will conquer. 93 Never reproach another for his love. It happens often enough that beauty ensnares with desire the wise, while the foolish remain unmoved. 94 Never reproach the plight of another, for it happens to many men. Strong desire may stupefy heroes, dull the wits of the wise. 95 The mind alone knows what is near the heart. Each is his own judge. The worst sickness for a wise man is to crave what he cannot enjoy. 96 So I learned when I sat in the reeds, hoping to have my desire. Lovely was the flesh of that fair girl, but nothing I hoped for happened. 97 I saw on a bed Billing's daughter, sun white, asleep. No greater delight I longed for then than to lie in her lovely arms. 98. Come, Odin, after nightfall if you wish for a meeting with me. All would be lost if anyone saw us and learned that we were lovers. 99. Afire with longing. I left her then, deceived by her soft words. I thought my wooing had won the maid, that I would have my way. 100. After nightfall I hurried back, but the warriors were all awake. Lights were burning, blazing torches. So false proved the path. 101. Towards daybreak back I came. The guards were sound asleep. I found then that the fair woman had tied a female dog to her bed. 102. Many a girl, when one gets to know her, proves to be fickle and false. That treacherous maiden taught me a lesson. The crafty woman covered me with shame. That was all I got from her. 103. Let a man with his guests be glad and merry. Modest a man should be, but talk well if he intends to be wise and expects praise from men. Fimble famby is the fool called, unable to open his mouth. 104. Fruitless my errand, had I been silent when I came to Sutting's courts. With spirited words I spoke to my prophet in the hall of the aged giant. 105. Roddy had gnawed a narrow passage, chewed a channel through stone, a path around the roads of giants. I was likely to lose my head. 106. Gunlud sat me in the golden seat, poured me precious mead. I will reward she had from me for that, for her proud and passionate heart, her brooding, foreboding spirit. 107. What I won from her I have well used. I have waxed in wisdom since I came back, bringing to Asgard Odorir, the sacred drought. 108. Hardly would I have come home alive from the garth of the grim troll, had Gunlod not helped me, the good woman who wrapped her arms around me. 109. The following day the frost giants came, walked into Har's hall to ask for Har's advice. Had Bolverk, they asked, come back to his friends, or had he been slain by Suttung? 110. Odin, they said, swore an oath on his ring. Who from now on will trust him? By fraud at the feast he befuddled Suttung and brought grief to Gunlod. This channel is all about religions and theology. In just a few minutes, you will learn something new and feel at ease. Subscribe to stay tuned. 111. It is time to sing in the seat of the wise, of what at Erd's well I saw in silence, saw and thought on. Long I listened to men runes heard spoken, counsels revealed. At Har's hall and Har's hall, there I heard this. 112. Lodfafnir, listen to my counsel. You will fare well if you follow it. It will help you much if you heed it. Never rise at night unless you need to spy or to ease yourself in the outhouse. 113. Shun a woman wise in magic her bed and her embraces. 114. If she cast a spell, you will care no longer to meet and speak with men, desire no food, desire no pleasure, in sorrow fall asleep. 115. Never seduce another's wife. Never make her your mistress. If you must journey to mountains and firths, take food and fodder with you. 117. Never open your heart to an evil man when fortune does not favor you. From an evil man, if you make him your friend, you will get evil for good. 118. I saw a warrior wounded fatally by the words of an evil woman. Her cunning tongue caused his death, though what she alleged was a lie. 119. If you know a friend you can fully trust, go often to his house. Grass and brambles grow quickly upon the untrodden track. 120. With a good man it is good to talk. Make him your fast friend, but waste no words on a witless oaf, nor sit with a senseless ape. 21. Cherish those near you. Never be the first to break with a friend. Care eats him who can no longer open his heart to another. 122. An evil man, if you make him your friend, will give you evil for good. 123. A good man, if you make him your friend, will praise you in every place. 24. Affection is mutual when men can open all their hearts to each other. He whose words are always fair is untrue and not to be trusted. 125. Bandy no speech with a bad man. Often the better is beaten in a word fight by the worse. 126. Be not a cobbler nor a carver of shafts, except it be for yourself. If a shoe fits ill or a shaft is crooked, the maker gets curses and kicks. 127. If aware that another is wicked, say so. Make no truce or treaty with foes. 128. Never share in the shamefully gotten, but allow yourself what is lawful. 129. Never lift your eyes and look up in battle, lest the heroes enchant you, who can change warriors suddenly into hogs. 130. With a good woman, if you wish to enjoy her words and her goodwill, pledge her fairly and be faithful to it. Enjoy the good you are given. 131. Be not over-wary, but wary enough. First, of the foaming ale. Second, of a woman wed to another. Third, of the tricks of thieves. 32. Mock not the traveler met on the road, nor maliciously laugh at the guest. 133. The sitters in the hall seldom know the kin of the newcomer. The best man is marred by faults. The worst is not without worth. 134. Never laugh at the old when they offer counsel. Often their words are wise. From shriveled skin, from scraggy things that hang among the hides and move amid the guts, clear words often come. 135. Scoff not at guests, nor to the gate chase them, but relieve the lonely and wretched. 136. Heavy the beam above the door. Hang a horseshoe on it against ill luck, lest it should suddenly crash and crush your guests. 137. Medicines exist against many evils. Earth against drunkenness, heather against worms, oak against costiveness, corn against sorcery, spurred rye against rupture, runes against bales, the moon against feuds, fire against sickness, earth makes harmless the floods. 138. Wounded I hung on a wind-swept gallows for 9 long nights, pierced by a spear, pledged to Odin, offered myself to myself. The wisest know not from whence spring the roots of that ancient rood. 39. They gave me no bread, they gave me no mead. I looked down with a loud cry. I took up runes, from that tree I fell. 140. 9 lays of power I learned from the famous Bolthor, Bestla's father. He poured me a draught of precious mead, mixed with magic odorir. 141. Waxed and throve well, word from word gave words to me, deed from deed gave deeds to me. 142. Runes you will find, and readable staves, very strong staves, very stout staves, staves that Bolthor stained, made by mighty powers, graven by the prophetic god. 143. For the gods by Odin, for the elves by Dane, by Dvalin too, for the dwarves by Asvid, for the hateful giants, and some I carved myself. Thun before man was made, scratched them, who rose first, fell thereafter. 144. Know how to cut them, know how to read them, know how to stain them, know how to prove them, know how to evoke them, know how to score them, know how to send them. Know how to send them. 145. Better not to ask than to overpledge as a gift that demands a gift. Better not to send than to slay too many. 146. The first charm I know is unknown to rulers or any of humankind. Help it is named, for help it can give in hours of sorrow and anguish. 147. I know a second that the sons of men must learn who wish to be leeches. 148. I know a third. In the thick of battle, if my need be great enough, it will blunt the edges of enemy swords. Their weapons will make no wounds. 149. I know a fourth. It will free me quickly if foes should bind me fast with strong chains. A chant that makes fetters spring from the feet, bonds burst from the hands. 150. I know a fifth. No flying arrow, aimed to bring harm to men, flies too fast for my fingers to catch it and hold it in midair. 151. I know a sixth. It will save me if a man cuts runes on a sapling's roots with intent to harm. It turns the spell. The hater is harmed, not me. 152. I know a seventh. If I see the hall ablaze around my benchmates, though hot the flames, they shall feel nothing if I choose to chant the spell. 153. I know an eighth that all are glad of, most useful to men. If hate festers in the heart of a warrior, it will soon calm and cure him. 154. I know a ninth. When need I have to shelter my ship on the flood, the wind it calms, the waves it smooths, and puts the sea to sleep. 155. I know a tenth. If troublesome ghosts ride the rafters aloft, I can work it so they wander astray, unable to find their forms, unable to find their homes. 156. I know an 11th. When I lead to battle old comrades in arms, I have only to chant it behind my shield, and unwounded they go to war. Unwounded they come from war, unscathed wherever they are. 157. I know a 12th. If a tree bears a man hanged in a halter, I can carve and stain strong runes that will cause the corpse to speak, reply to whatever I ask. 158. I know a 13th. If I throw a cup of water over a warrior, he shall not fall in the fiercest battle, nor sink beneath the sword. 159. I know a 14th that few know. If I tell a troop of warriors about the high ones, elves and gods, I can name them one by one. Few can the nitwit name. 160. I know a 15th that first Yoderer sang before Delling's doors, giving power to gods, prowess to elves, foresight to Hroptatyr Odin. 161. I know a 16th. If I see a girl with whom it would please me to play, I can turn her thoughts, can touch the heart of any white-armed woman. 162. I know a 17th. If I sing it, the young girl will be slow to forsake me. 163. To learn to sing them, Lodfafnir, will take you a long time. Though helpful they are if you understand them, useful if you use them, needful if you need them. 164. I know an 18th that I never tell to maiden or wife of man, a secret I hide from all except the love who lies in my arms, or else my own sister. 165. The wise one has spoken words in the hall, needful for men to know, unneedful for trolls to know. Hail to the speaker, hail to the knower, joy to him who has understood, delight to those who have listened. Translation W.H. Auden and P.B. Taylor. This channel is all about religions and theology. In just a few minutes, you will learn something new and feel at ease. Subscribe to stay tuned.